ToRaH Garden, speaking the absolute truth. ToRaH Nation. Shalom, 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 Yashar and Yahudah, to my grafted in brothers and sisters in this witness, in the body of Mashiach, strangers, but sons. Yahuwah be praised, he be praised, he be praised, he be praised. Listen, I did a message probably over a year ago. I did a YouTube message. Actually, it probably was a couple of messages. The message had to do with the awakening versus the quickening, right? And Yahuwah has been dealing with me in reference to making sure that I communicate to you the necessity of this witness. Again, you know, he's called me to cry loud and to spare not, to lift up my voice like a trump in Zion, and to tell his people that they must receive his witness. They must be born again of the water and of the RUACH HaKodesh. There is no other way to be the people, right? Because unless you're born again, you can't see the kingdom and you can't enter to the kingdom, which means that you can't be a people of his that don't have access to his kingdom. So the witness is being born again of the water, right? Understanding the necessity of the atonement, right? And having, after Yahuwah has cleansed you of your sin. Hold on just a minute. Man, how you doing? What's up, man? Nothing, man.
Hey, you see Kanye tell the truth about that, they don't like it.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
All I was thinking about was you.
Yeah, well, you know, it's about the truth for me, you know. Just even more so now. Yeah. So, you know, remember all of those conversations we had?
I know, I was thinking, Weldon been saying this for years.
Listen, man, remember them conversations? Remember them conversations? All right, take it easy, man.
All right, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's one of the men that I used to work with at an elementary school. And I used to tell them all the time about, you know, how we were the people and how, you know, what we talking about, pretty much what I've been telling them about the witness, you know. But here's the deal, right? You have to understand that there is a distinction between the awakening and the quickening, right? There's a distinction. There's a distinction between the awakening and the quickening, right? There are people that are being awakened to their identity, right? Their bloodline identity that places them into the category of being Yahuwah's chosen people, right? But that alone is not going to cause you to be a part of his kingdom. You have to receive the quickening. Listen. I seen something on I think I seen it on TikTok, right? Where this one, you know, everybody's doing TikToks about the people of Yahuwah now. You know, I mean, it's just like, you know, it's just this whole awakening, right? And at one point he was showing Kyrie at the beginning of the season, right? With him being in the gymnasium all by himself, right? And he was burning sage, right? And walking throughout the arena because he was getting rid of evil spirits. That's the awakening. That's the awakening. That's not the quickening. That's not the Ruach HaKodesh. That's not you receiving power. After that, the Ruach HaKodesh has come upon you. That's the awakening, right? The awakening brings about an understanding of culture and history that may not have anything to do with being Yahuwah's people, right? Yahuwah ain't never had us as Hebrews to go anywhere and burn sage. Actually, sage and the burning of sage is attached to witchcraft. See, but this is what the awakening gets you. This is what the awakening gets you. This is what the connection to your ancestral ruachs gets you, right? This is the lack of the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of Yahuwah, right? Because you have not been quickened to the overall purpose of us as the people, right? You know we are the people, right? Because you have an awakening. You know, this young man that I just spoke to, you know, I was talking to him about, you know, how we were the people and how, you know, we have to turn back to the Most High, or, you know, we have to receive the witness, you know, and you know, and he was like, yeah, you know, but now Kanye is saying it. But yet it's Kanye in the quickening. He's in the awakening. Right? Right? Because there is no way that you could be in the awakening, right? Understanding the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach and the need to be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? Not Christianity. Right? Christianity is a satanic spawn. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care if you turn me off. I don't care if you don't listen to me again. I don't care if you don't ever speak to me again. I really don't care. I want Yahuwah to make my face as flint so that people would understand that this man has to be totally in this witness, or he's got to be totally crazy. And see, I understand what Yahuwah is saying because I have his Ruach HaKodesh. Christianity is not built on the same foundation as what we've received in Hamashiach. It is a spawn. It is a Constantine spawn. It is a spawn. It is not of Yahuwah. And what you have to understand is that it doesn't matter. You know, it's not him. It's not him. It's not Jesus. It's not Jesus. It was never Jesus. It was never Jesus. It was never Lord. It was never God. It was always Yahuwah. That was his name. It was always Yahuwah. 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 It was always YAHUSHA. Yah salvation. It was never Jesus. It's a spawn. They have profaned his name. Right? How can Christianity be the principles and purpose of Yahushua HaMashiach and have spilled as much innocent blood as it has? It's a spawn. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I don't care if my mama in it. I don't care if my sisters are in it. They gonna all go to hell if they hold on to Christianity and they keep bowing down to this Jesus and this pagan worship. They're gonna go to hell. And I tell them too, I don't care. I don't care. telling you, I don't care. I am given a mandate to cry loud and spare not, and I'm going to tell you the truth. See, some of y'all don't want to do no research. And then some of y'all don't want to do some things because, you know, once you do it, you're going to have to have a degree of accountability. You ain't going to be able to do the things you used to do. Yeah, you ain't going to be able to do the things you used to do. Because in Christianity, you can just go and forgive, and that's, you know, trust in God and Jesus to forgive you of your sins, and you're going at the end go escape the tribulation and be raptured. That was a doctrine generated by man in the 1800s. I think it was the 1800s. I'm telling you, but understand this. There's a difference between the awakening and the quickening. In the awakening, you can gain this information and this knowledge of you being the people. But you're going to be just like your fathers, who knew they were the people, but they didn't want to receive the witness. They didn't want to turn to Yahushua Mashiach. They didn't want to recognize that in order to be Yahuwah's people, they had to provide an atonement. You ain't a people outside of fellowship with Yahuwah. You're not. You're not a people of Yahuwah if you are not under his atonement. You ain't his people. If you have not received his atoning blood for the remission of your sins, you are not his. You are none of his. None. Nada. No way are you his. You're none of 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 his. If you have not received this witness, if you have not been born again of the water and of the RUACH, you are none of his. See, Yahuwah has granted the awakening in order to move you to the quickening. He's granted the awakening to move you to the quickening. You have to understand that you got to be born again. The awakening is not the quickening. The awakening is not the quickening. The awakening is not the quickening. I don't care how many fringes you wear. I don't care how many necklaces and how many zeets you wear. I don't care. If you have not moved into the quickening of Yahushua HaMashiach by receiving his witness, all you doing is presenting an outward show. It's an outward show. It is an outward show. It is an outward show. If all you are doing is wearing zeets and all that other stuff, and all you doing is think you gaining a knowledge of ToRaH, guess what? You are grossly mistaken. You have to enter into this witness, and you have to be born again of the water and the RUACH. You have to be washed. You can't turn to Yahuwah. The awakening doesn't make you his people. The awakening makes you somebody who understands who your forefathers are and who you are potentially, but it does not put you in the family of Yahuwah. It doesn't put you in the family of Yahuwah. It doesn't put you in the family of Yahuwah. It doesn't put you in the family of Yahuwah. It doesn't put you in the family of Yahuwah. Oh, it doesn't put you in the family of Yahuwah. No. The awakening doesn't make you, the awakening doesn't give you access to Yahuwah's kingdom. The awakening does not give you access to Yahuwah's kingdom. You don't have access to Yahuwah's kingdom in the awakening. You have access to Yahuwah and the process of turning. Oh yeah, because he gonna hear you when you turn. But you ain't gonna just begin to put on ZZ and start wearing stuff and saying you a people of Yahuwah and walking around saying that you the people. That's what your forefathers did. And they still died. They still died. Just like your fathers. And you know, they did the same thing to Mashiach, you know. They knew they were the people. They knew they were people. You know, our people are just waking up to the reality of being people. But they knew they was the people. They knew they was the people. Right? They made it known that, you know, our father was Avraham. You know, we keep the ToRaH of Moshe. Yahusha says that ain't your father. Because if you would do, if you were of your father, you would first of all receive me. And you would do the things your father do. You would receive my ToRaH. You would receive my witness. You would recognize me as being the way, the truth, and the light. See, bro, you got to understand that this awakening it could be a beautiful thing, but it should point you to the quickening. You have to be once dead in trespasses and sin. You have to understand that Yahusha became an atonement. You have to understand that without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sins. You can't do this on your own. You can't offer up a sacrifice. You can't be restored to Yahuwah without an atonement. You can't be quickened until you receive this truth in Emunah and allow the blood of Yahusha to cleanse you and you be born again. Of the water of the RUACH. The quickening. Ephesians 1 and 13. The quickening. Look, Ezekiel 36 and 27. The quickening. The awakening is not the quickening. The awakening is not the quickening. See, in the awakening, you're going to move according to the flesh, just like your fathers did. In the awakening, you're going to burn sage to get rid of the evil RUACH'S. About establishing your own righteousness, right? Like, make no mistake about it, right? You the people. You the people, right? But I guarantee you something. If you don't have Yahuwah's witness, you are his people, ain't getting into the kingdom. And in all intended purposes, you ain't his people. follow the process. They're called by his name. Yeah, they received this revelation of being in the awakening. They're called by his name, right? But they don't stop there. They recognize what their fathers have done, the sins of their forefathers, right? Right? And they turn, right? But in order to turn, you have to present an atonement offering, a sacrifice for your sins, because only blood can be used, innocent blood could be used for a sin offering. It's possible to establish a connection with Yahuwah without blood. He won't look on you. He'll turn his face away from you. I know there's those in Israel who'll be like, you know, you should be happy that these people are in the awakening. You shouldn't be so dogmatic about people being born again. You know, they got to grow into that. You ain't got the Ruach HaKodesh. Because see, when you have the Ruach HaKodesh, you understand the urgency of this witness. And see, I'm not going to cater to and drag people along and tell them, well, you know, it's about knowing who you are. No, it's about being born again of the water of the Ruach HaKodesh. Knowing who you are gives you an idea of what Yahuwah has called you to do. The order of things for you. The order of things. You understand the order of things that Yahuwah is doing, and you move in that order of things because that's the way Yahuwah has commanded you as a people to do. See, you know, if you're trapped in this awakening, all you're doing is gaining more knowledge, 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 gaining more knowledge. You know, I got more knowledge. I got more DNA information. Listen, right? I got all the DNA information I needed. But you know what I knew? I was the people before I got the DNA. I knew I was his people because he put his Ruach HaKodesh in me. Because I've accepted his witness. Because I was born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. And you know, if the truth be told, even if I was of the other nations, it wouldn't matter because I'm still his people. Beloved, now we are the sons of Yahuwah. Why? Because we've received the earnest of this inheritance. Excuse me. This is real. And my prayer is that you will understand how real it is. You got to go beyond the awakening. And I told you before, listen, you can be in this awakening and go over to the continent. It don't mean you in the quickening. It don't mean you his. You can go over to the continent, right? Put boots on the ground, move there, and start communing with your ancestral ruachs. You're going to be bound up in a bondage that is over there. You're going to switch out one bondage for another bondage. You're going to switch out one bondage for another bondage. But see, if you have his Ruach HaKodesh and you go over into the continent, right, with that power, right, you can remove burdens and you can destroy yokes. You can cast out devils. You can do the work of Yahuwah's kingdom in the lands of your ancestors, your forefathers. Yahuwah will prosper your goings. Right? But it's because you got this quickening. You understand what it means to be led by his Ruach HaKodesh. You are established in this quickening. Right? You have life. You have life because of this witness. Right? You have life. You have a direct line, a connection to the Most High. Right? You're going over there just because, you find that your people are from the Gabon tribe, on the west coast of Africa, or Cameroon, Nigeria, right, or Senegal, you find out your people over there, right? So you don't go over there and commune with them. You better have the Ruach HaKodesh. Because if you're going over there without the Ruach HaKodesh, and you're just going off knowing that you're the people, you escape in one territory to go to another. And you have people on the continent that left here going there because they know they the people and have turned around and come back to the Americas. Came back to Babylon. What? They came back to Babylon, right? How do you know that you're the people, right? You leave Babylon going to the land that flows with milk and honey, technically. Yahuwah's land, right? And you go back to Babylon. Right? How do you do that? How's that possible? Oh, it wasn't what I thought it was. You got to do everything by the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? I want to go to the continent. But I'm coming to the continent with some power. Oh yeah, Ruach HaKodesh power. I understand what's before me because Yahuwah is going to lead me and guide me everywhere I need to go and everything I need to do. It's about the witness. It's about the witness. You got people, our people over on the continent, still worshiping white Jesus. You got some of them that understand that it was pagan, right? But yet they haven't turned to Hamashiach. Not white Jesus. That Hebrew brother, Hamashiach, the son of Yahuwah. You gotta understand, man. Bro, you gotta understand. It's not about the awakening. The awakening Yahuwah has given you to lead you to the quickening. I was listening to this other brother, and they don't have the Ruach HaKodesh. That is this brother. He has a diaspora channel where he confronts stuff that we as a people go through in these Americas, and he was talking about how we grew up under this colonial Christianity, and he says he wondered how it would be if we were Muslims and not Christians. He said, well, would it be different for us on what? We would still be under bondage. We would be under the captivity of our slavers. Right? See, people say things because they think it sounds good. But if you understand that Islam enslaved us before Ashkenaz, But he know he the people. He says, if it wasn't for Christianity, with all of this, thou shalt turn the other cheek and all these other things, right? Right. But see, he didn't even understand the context of that text. That had everything to do with how we treated our brothers in Hamashiach, in the family. We are rather Sephiroth than to do something against our brother. I'm telling you, man, this awakening, man. You got this militant brother that just got arrested and got 7 years in prison because he pointed AR-15 at a FBI agent. He wrote a letter from the prison. He uses language like the Most High Yahuwah, and if you listen to it, you may assume that he's Hebrew, that he understands he's Hebrew. Well, he may in fact understand the fact that he's Hebrew, but he ain't quickened. He ain't quickened. He ain't in the quickening. He hasn't received the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah. He isn't in the quickening, right? He hasn't received the quickening because the quickening would not have him out on the courthouse with a bunch of other people, right? In this nation, right? Loaded down with weapons and all of it. Listen, everything he was loaded down with, I got in my house. But you ain't getting me to go out to no government steps and talking about with guns that we got our First Amendment rights. We ain't Europeans. Yeah, they gonna make an example of us, right? And then he gonna present himself in this letter as if he's a martyr. Keep the faith, brothers, sisters. All praise to the Most High Yahuwah. See, you got people in the awakening, but they ain't in the quickening. See, because the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah would have told you, no, don't do that. Don't pump the brakes. It's not that time yet. It's not that time yet. But you got your own agenda. These Europeans gonna put you down. Right? They got him for pointing a gun at a federal officer. Pointing a gun at a federal officer. 7 years. And they knew, man, he never had no record. He wasn't about trying to be he had all his permits. He had everything he was supposed to have to be at this rally, but somehow he found himself pointing a gun at a federal officer. Yeah, they made an example of him. Let's see, the Most High told you to do that. See, I'm telling you, man, you got people that are in the awakening that are doing and saying things. They're presenting information and knowledge. They're acting in the best interest of what they feel they should be as the people, right? Right? You got some people, think that they need to be Hebrews and moving like the Maccabees. What? First of all, this ain't our land. Right? This ain't our land. That courthouse ain't our temple. There is nothing that says Yahuwah in any of this nation that represents Yahuwah in this nation, except the people of Yahuwah who have his Ruach HaKodesh because they've been quickened. They have been sanctified. How do you become sanctified? By receiving his Ruach HaKodesh, being a part of his witness, being established in his witness. That's how that happens, right? Any other way. This ain't the wake. This right here ain't the awakening. This is the quickening, right? This is the quickening. This is going to make you fast and pray. This is going to make you study ToRaH. Be quiet before Yahuwah and don't do anything until you hear what he has to say. Man of Yah, woman of Yah. The awakening versus the quickening. Better understand this. Better understand this. And don't ride on everybody that's awakens bandwagon. Don't sign off on everybody that say they in the awakening. Don't sign off on everybody who say that they are in the awakening. Right? Yahusha said, you shall know them by their fruits. Their fruits is not what they donate. Their fruits is ruach. You'll see they move in the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? They move in power and in strength. Right? They do what the Most High tells them to do. They don't take liberties upon themselves to establish and start some movement that is going to fight for the rights of black people. There are no civil rights for us in this nation. There was never meant for us to have rights. Listen, that's why Yahuwah is going to have to bring us out of here, because this is not our home. Listen, y'all trying to establish a place here and continue to move in this Babylonian system in the awakening and feel that you're going to be okay. No, don't work like that. See, because once you get into the awakening, right? Once you get into the quickening, right? There's some things that you are just going to begin to reveal to you that you ain't going to want to have or want to do, you ain't going to participate in. It's just things. Right? Man of Yah, woman of Yah, listen, that's all I have. I pray that Yahuwah would minister this word to you. Again, don't you get so caught up in people who say, oh, I'm in the awakening. You know, I want to know if you've been quickened. What that mean? Well, have you been born again? You mean what they say in that Christian church? No. What it says in ToRaH. Right? Have you turned? Have you presented an atonement? An atonement? How am I going to present an atonement? I don't have a high priest. Exactly. That's why Yahuwah sent YAHUSHA, because he became that high priest. And you don't have a lamb. And that's why he has YAHUSHA. You can't do it yourself. You got to have somebody that can go before you and do it. And the temple is destroyed. So the one on earth. So you got to have the one in the Shamayim that only Yahushua Mashiach could go into with his own blood. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, that's it. I pray that Yahuwah would use you, bless you, and this word would be a lamp unto your feet, a light unto your pathway. And with that, I say shalom, 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 and be blessed. ToRaH Garden, speaking the absolute truth. ToRaH Nation.